This Zillow situation is getting very spicy indeed. If you haven't been following the whole Zillow Flex lawsuit and the whole shenanigans going on with that whole situation, it's now been elevated and they're adding RICO claims, basically stating that Zillow was acting like a criminal organization. So, assuming these RICO claims go through and this thing unfolds and it goes the way that it's going, if you've been, again, looking at it, I'll see if I can link something here in the description for you guys so you can kind of read at your leisure later on. A bunch of internal leaks are being given out in regards to conversations at the corporate level, the agent level. Other people have joined in on the lawsuit. And number one, I've been telling you for years, I told you so. But number two, it's crazy to see this thing. Zillow did a brilliant job. They positioned themselves where a lot of people, thought, oh, they're an ally. They're here to help us. Agents are basically renting their business from them because they pay them for the very leads that they could generate on their own because, NAR basically bent over, so to speak, and gave them access to MLS and all that data. And this fiasco started a long time ago. I've been very outspoken against it, but it just blows my mind to see agents celebrating at Zillow events and acting like Zillow's their best friend, when in the beginning, they've been here to not only try to push realtors out, which by now it should be obvious to you, or at least profit off of us tremendously, but number two, they don't put the consumer first. As much as we gripe about our industry, and I totally agree, we need to really step up as an industry and do better, just generally speaking, they're worse. I mean, look what this whole thing is with the Zillow Flex situation, where they're basically creating, in quotes, allegedly a quota, where the agents who work and affiliate with Zillow Flex and get the leads are expected to push a certain percentage of those people to Zillow Home Loans so they can double dip. And Zillow gets a piece of the transaction fee, but also for their loan department. Now, again, we can't do that. That's steering buyers. That's against the law. That's anti-consumer. Same thing with their website and how they navigate. When my listings and my team's listings go on Zillow and people click the contact button, they don't know that they're not contacting the listing agent. If you ask 10 people who go on that website, they would assume, most of them, that they're contacting the listing agent or somebody that works with their company. No, but you got to scroll all the way down at the bottom. Oh, listing provided by, Bryan Casella. It's nuts. So again, this is always framed as realtors are bad, this and that, and these corporations and da-da-da-da. Yet they are doing a worse job, number one, but number two, they are absolutely not looking out for the best interest of the client, which needs to be number one here, right? But you got to follow this stuff, and this serves as a stern warning. I know a lot of people who run teams, who they themselves individually or their small teams, they pay Zillow money. They do the Zillow Flex. They do Zillow Leads, Premier Agent. I mean, I've seen it over the years. Zillow was after me for the longest time too, until I think I told them to F off so many times, and I probably bashed them online so many times that they finally gave up on trying to convert me. But it's the reality. Why would I ally with somebody who from the very beginning I knew didn't want me next to them, or at the very least to compete with me? They wanted to either have me work for them or eliminate me. I don't want that. Like, think about this. They used to cold call me, their reps, right? Hey, pay X amount on Zillow. The traffic will come, you'll get leads, and you won't have to cold call. And I'm like, my guy, you cold called me to tell me I don't need a cold call to get business. Is that right? And I'd always get crickets, and then they would hang up. I never got a rebuttal when I said that. And for a while, I was saying that to every Zillow rep that would call me. So number one, cold calling works. Absolutely, because they're still doing it. But number two, why would you have to look at it this way, guys. Oh, well, they'll say, well, the consumer, they're all going there. Cool, because it's a free website for a consumer. They just, again, but the people going on Zillow, most of them, the lion's share of them eyeballing it, are not in the market right now. Even then, you're going to a website where your information and your hard work and your deals was sold to them by supposedly the organization that backs us. They're now taking your data and your information, then charging you to put it on a website and have people come who could be going to your app or your website, and then charging you for that person to contact you. And if you don't pay that premium, they're going to put someone else in front of you. That's the whole premise behind it. Why would you give your money to that when you could, again, like I've done content and I'm probably going to do more stuff on this. I've been helping my students and my team on how to generate leads themselves, build their brand, where they don't have to rely on a company like this. Because I get it. A lot of agents say, well, I have to pay these companies to get leads. You can generate your own leads and create your own lead generation machine. And you can funnel people in, right? You can create your own website portal so they don't go to these places, and you keep the leads. That's possible if you build out your systems properly and you learn how to lead generate yourself. This should serve as a stern warning to you. Now, they have a lot of money behind them. They've lost a lot of money for sure. And they haven't quite figured out this thing, and I don't think they ever will, at least not, anytime soon. Eventually, I'm sure, realtors and real estate agents at some point in the future maybe will get phased out, or it'll be different. But that's going to be way down the road, not like right now. Maybe right now technology and AI is pushing out the rookie ones or the people who don't know what they're doing. But the realtors who really show up and know what they're doing and run a professional business and deliver top-notch service, they're going to keep their job, right? For many reasons. And I can make that argument in a separate video if people really want that or would like for me to create it so they can share it with people, right? But you have to look at this and say, all right, this is the reality of what's going on. What am I doing on a daily basis as a professional to build my business and protect it against that, a market disruptor? Are you feeding into that monster, or are you creating your own empire where you don't have to worry about it? Me, my coaching students, my team, we're not worried about that. We pay attention and we move accordingly, but we're not worried about having to pay Zillow to get business. Or, they're going to take we're not worried about that. We're not. I got people having record years in my coaching and on my team, and that keeps happening every year. Making 300K, 500K, 600K, 400K. I mean, I could just give you testimonial after testimonial. Same thing with my team, people coming on, selling 8, 10, 12 homes their first year, doubling their business every year. But again, we're not, being attacked by that. We're not vulnerable to that. We're not giving our money to these companies. You saw the whole thing with Follow Up Boss, how now Zillow has access to them too. A lot of people had to get off Follow Up Boss because now Zillow is going to have access to their leads. This is why you guys need to be independent. I've said this before, independent lead generation machines. All it takes is a quick change in policy, a new agreement behind the scenes, and boom, you're done. Look at YouTube. Look how I had my platform destroyed because of changing community guidelines and all that nonsense that they flag it under. Where stuff that I had made 10 years ago that was in compliance with YouTube, the people who really dislike me could come back 8 years later, now that YouTube's rules have changed, and go flag a video that I made 10 years ago to try to get me banned, which was one of many reasons why I had all my platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and even my original TikTok back in the day deleted. And I got deplatformed and censored because of many reasons, but that was one of them. But I understand on social media, I have to play by the rules because there's no equivalent to YouTube yet, right? So we make the adjustment, and I had to bite the bullet and say, okay, well, I had to start all over. But see, I never put all my eggs in one basket either. I didn't just rely on YouTube for money, ad revenue, coaching, and all that stuff. By the time that happened, I'd already created 6, 7 income streams. So even if you took most of my stuff away and pulled the plug on me, I still had already built up enough at the baseline, passive and residual income, that I was going to be okay, which still to this day is in the 6 figures I'm making. So even if I'm rock bottom, I'm still going to be pulling in 6 figures a year. Rock bottom, remove all my active income because I set things up properly. Now, right now, I'm still in the building phase, and this next year, it's really going to take off. My income is really going to start going up again. I had to pay off debt and do a bunch of stuff, and I had to basically level set, relaunch my team. The investment division is going. All my workshops are starting again. I'm doing events. My coaching program is starting to really thrive again and get a lot of momentum. Cool. I had to take a step back, deal with all that stuff. But see, I never put myself in a position where a company like Zillow or an outside entity could wipe me clean. And that's the point of this video. Let this serve as a lesson that you need to get your ish together if you're in this industry. You need to become a distinguished agent. Shameless plug for my program, right? You need to become a distinguished agent. Then you're resilient. Then you're leveraged against market disruptors. Then you don't have anything to worry about, and you can keep building your business because you're ahead of the curve and you're not put in a vulnerable or susceptible position because you built your business on a proper foundation and correctly. That is the key here, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why you need to learn from the right people and take the right steps. This is no time to play. Amateur hour is over. Amateur hour is over. you better get with it, and you better get with it quick, fast, and in a hurry. Otherwise, you're going to be long gone. The statistics aren't lying. Every year, less and less agents sell homes. 2023, it was 51%. 2024, it was 71 or 72%. 2025 is probably going to be higher. Less people sold homes. Yet, there is that percentage that's still selling a lot, making more money, and having record years, like I mentioned earlier. What are they doing? Get around those people, learn from them, and take the right steps. And pay attention to stuff like this. I'm telling you, I've said it since 2013 when I got in the business. That company is the enemy. I've said it to their face, and I'll never stop. And you're seeing in real time what's happening behind the scenes. They will smile in your face and stab you in the back. How many more things do you need to see? Why would you, your team, or anybody willingly give that corporation your hard-earned money to sell you back the very leads that should be yours in the first place? It just doesn't make any sense, okay? So move accordingly. Develop the skill set, develop the brand, build your business correctly. And this type of stuff you can watch from afar in a distance, know that justice will be served, and you'll be fine at the end of the day, and you can have a thriving career in this business. All right. Anything else I can do for you guys, let me know. I have a ton of free resources in the comments. Drop a comment if there's anything you want me to expand on a little bit more, or video ideas. I'm really looking at the comment section. I know engagement has gone down a lot across all platforms, but for the people who do watch to the end and leave a comment, I'm more than happy to base a video completely on your question if it's a good one, and I'll seriously consider it. All right, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.